merge, for to say that the sitting mayor in the city of Detroit.
Right. But obviously, the endorsement, the mayor's endorsement of Gretchen Whitmer, which I asked him, does it send the wrong message to the Democratic base? And he basically tried to say that in many, many ways.
Well, it's going to be interesting because I haven't seen the bump with his endorsement. And
that's a good point.
And the issue is, if you're looking at any of the candidates, there's still a large percentage of undecided out there. So the race hasn't generated the interest of the everyday citizen. Those of us who live in the life, it's exciting to us, you know, to keep in contact with the different candidates, you know, get into little debates and things. But the everyday person is trying to get 10 on 6. That noticed the gas went up to $2.69 and it was $2.29 2 weeks ago. It shows that they're not, and that's per gallon, they're not interested in the race. And it's showing that none of these individuals at this time have generated the interest amongst everyday people. So Douglas' endorsement, it hasn't gave a bump. Maybe some people are paper tigers, and maybe some people are just big in their press releases and and not really you know,
pound in the paper.
Right. You don't see it in terms of, if you're talking about a bump, and if you're talking about, you're right, those are the insiders. We kind of read this and we work this and we eat it every morning and we get and go to bed at night. But the regular citizen, now, if you don't realize that Sharif won the poll, say that he's ahead. And this is after the endorsement of the mayor, after the endorsement of UAW.
Today, Gretchen got the AFL-CIO.
That's right. After. So, in terms of a bump, I don't know. And that's not to say that the mayor doesn't have juice. It's not to say that he doesn't support her. It's not to say that he will not put troops on the ground. We have a little ways to go. But right now, we are not seeing that there's the added value.
Let's go to Anthony. Anthony has a question or comment. 313-778-7600. Go ahead.
How you doing, Bagley?
Good.
I guess what concerns me the most is you worked for somebody, you got paid from somebody, he endorses somebody else, all of a sudden you become, I didn't need you anymore, you had no. So right then and there, that really bothered me. Because you didn't voice these opinions before, and I know what you were saying about, now you've been doing calls about, well, we heard this through other people. If it was so bad,
why did you stay?
Did you stay for the paycheck? Did you stay to get paid? First of all, nobody stays. And to use the words, he doesn't care about that's like a 50. Come on, you got to give me something better than that. Then, on another note, when this is all over, whoever wins, is he going to be there for Flint? Is he going to show up on those rallies on the weekends when it doesn't have his best interest at heart? If he cares so much, you don't have to hold a political office to be you don't have to be in political office to get something together and gather some people if you care about people. So is he going to be there and back up everything he said about this? Or we just sour grapes because somebody backed somebody else? And the other one thing, and I'll let you go there.
Sure.
Finally, it looks like, and I don't like using anything about race or nothing.
Sure, go ahead.
In the end, I hope one day this all becomes an equal, and I know what you say, and I understand. Finally, people in the city of Detroit, you're going to pick a candidate, we're going to pick a candidate out there, who we want. Not who just comes when they want to, not who just shows up on the doorstep the day before election. You're going to have to fight for that vote. You're going to have to work for that vote. Fine, it's no more, doesn't mean who you are, your name, where you're from. You show me what you're going to do for me, and then maybe we'll think about putting you in office. Instead of just a blanket, wow, this sounds good, let's do it.
Right.
You got to fight for that. You got to work for it.
Right. Thank you so much, Anthony.
Right.
But here's the deal, though. Abdul El-Sayed has a lot of support out there. And the question here is what is happening between Pat Miles and Dan Nassau, right? There's a real fight going on.
That's right.
It hasn't exploded in our face yet.
Right.
But it's a real fight going on. The question is, though, and I asked Abdul this, whether, if he doesn't get the nomination, will you commit to supporting Gretchen Whitmer? Bernie Sanders supported Hillary Clinton, but it was too late. And even when he tried to get his supporters to pull back, they were not pulling back.
Not at all.
They had that Kool-Aid all the way down. They didn't pull back. And guess what? The entire house got burned down, and Donald Trump became president. The question here is, though, with Abdullah Said and Gretchen Whitmer, is Gretchen gets the nomination, wins the nomination, and becomes the nominee, would Abdul come around and support Gretchen? He didn't answer the question. He said he will support a candidate that has the values expressed, whatever that means. That's an open-ended answer.
Right.
Frankly, first and foremost, and this is serious, the Democrats, if they want to win, all hands on deck. At the end of the day, any game, I don't care if you're playing basketball, soccer, or politics, at the end of the day, if you want your team to win, all hands must be on deck. Even his discussion about his dislike for right now, Duggan, that needs to be mended. In order for us to win, we have been
trying to win.
Right, for the last 10 years, almost 15, we have been on the losing end in Michigan. If we really want to win, he, Abdul, and everyone else must be on the same team, must have the same fight, must have the same goal.
And I think that there also has to be an effort on the apparatus to really be able to reach out to the everyday person. And I think the mayor plays a role in, as we get to the general election.
Right.
I think that a lot of people make an error in him just generating the vote in Detroit, but because he's white, he can go into his best value would be to go into parts of Michigan that's leaning, that can go either way. He would have to campaign around the state for the ticket and explain.
You think he'll do all that?
He didn't do it for Mark Sharp. And I think that if you're the
He didn't do it for Hillary Clinton.
He didn't do it for Hillary Clinton. And
it's amazing how we have these classic examples of all these Democratic heavyweights in the Southeast Michigan did not come out and pound the pavement for Hillary Clinton. The only time that I saw all of them together was the weekend of the election when they had that big shindig at Eastern Market. It was a shindig.
But again, frankly, you're saying, actually, both of you guys are saying the same thing. If he does not come out, and if the other leaders that we're not naming, we can name them if you want to, if they do not come out, we lose. I mean, the playbook has shown us. The history has shown us.
I'm wondering to see how. I'm waiting to see how the mayor actively supports Gretchen. If Gretchen becomes the nominee, is Mayor Duggan going to support Gretchen actively? Is he going to pound that pavement? Is he going to roll his sleeve like this and say, we need to elect a Democrat. We can't have Bill Schuette or Brian Calley as governor, and mention those names specifically. And I doubt the mayor will do that. He'll have to prove me wrong, because when he showed up at the press conference to endorse Gretchen, and which really, it was a very weird, strange press conference, because he showed up and said, well, we tried to talk to Gary Peters and all that stuff to run, because how do you show up at my party and talk about how you tried to take me out? You know what I mean? I can understand in a joking fashion, but that endorsement in itself, to me, and I wrote about this, it was not what I call a positive endorsement, because he tried to take Gretchen out. So the question here is, I think, the burden is on the mayor to now prove to skeptics that actually he will really pound the pavement for Gretchen. And I think, Chris, you raise an important point. Is the mayor going to go into UP? Is he going to go into other places? Diamondale. Was it Diamondale that Trump came and campaiged in? And that was the first time I heard that there was a city in Michigan called Diamondale. Yeah. Most of us found out that time that there's a city in Michigan called Diamondale. We started looking like, where's Diamondale?
That's the Michigan, Diamondale, yes.
So the question is the mayor going to go into these crucial places and try to pound the pavement? Because they didn't do it for Hillary.
I don't see him doing it, and if you're
that's why Bernie Sanders beat Hillary in Wayne County.
But I think he might. I doubt it. I doubt it. If he is on the team and he wants to win, like he won very well in Detroit, if he takes that kind of energy and time,
I doubt he will do that, because you know why? When you come out as the mayor and you endorse people. When you come out and endorse the presumptive, not a presumptive, because we want to be fair to Abdul and other candidates, but when you come out and endorse one of the leading candidates for governor as the mayor, part of your endorsement is you take a swipe at the other candidates.
Yes, all the time.
Yeah, you do a surgical operation on them, like they're wrong, but he didn't do that. He did not deconstruct Bill Schuette, neither did he deconstruct Brian Calley.
And see, that's a concern, because I think what's interesting about the dynamic that we have, the political dynamic, is that we have Western money on the southeastern side of the state. We are heavily influenced from the corporate end by Republican rich billionaires. And the mayor has a strong relationship with them. And unfortunately, he stands an opportunity under a Schuette administration to be the top dim and continue his relationship with the corporate community. Now, do I agree with that? No, but is that a political reality? Yeah.
Yeah, you're playing it safe.
So you're basically saying that the mayor, if Democrats don't win, then the mayor stands as the top Democrat, and he's the one they will look up to challenge, let's say, if it is Schuette or Brian Kelly, any of their re-election.
Yes, or even when it
so
comes
there's a self-interest there, self-preservation there.
And when it comes to rebuilding the Democratic Party, if in fact Schuette or Kelly wins, he's the guy that would have to be the main person to rebuild it. Plus, there's corporate interest here.
So it'll be the construction man.
Yeah, and that's a turnaround man. And so that's a problem. So if you're the campaign, if you're the kitchen cabinet, the Whitmer campaign, you better be having this discussion and even going as far as to set a what-if plan. If you see that the troops aren't coming from the 11th floor of the mayor's office, if you see that he's not coming out there, you have to have a strategy to generate the everyday.
And I'm glad you mentioned it, because I'll need to find out how many people on the mayor's team that are working on Gretchen's campaign that work, because I remember when Hillary Clinton came, there were a couple of people that were dispatched from the mayor's team that worked on Hillary's campaign. But again, there was no real campaign.
No real campaign. I was there.
There was no real campaign.
There was
Hillary.
Right. There were the boots on the ground were few and far between. The enthusiasm, the ideas, the contribution, for whatever reason. And I would then say, you're absolutely correct, Chris, in terms of there might be a self-interest for himself or for Detroit, that the money that he has and the people that he is having conversations with who can make a difference in downtown Detroit, those individuals probably don't look like us, talk like us, and they're probably not in the same circles that we are. That means a Democratic circle. So he is playing it safe, thankfully, probably, in terms of, I am going to support the candidate. I am going to do as much as I think necessary, but I am making sure that I am covered as the mayor of Detroit, Michigan.
For that I am covered, but in fact, I can run for and challenge whoever the Republican incumbent might be. That may be a theory. Look, when Bernie Sanders, and we can only go by examples, things that have happened, right? When Bernie Sanders won the state March 8, 2016, the next day there was no all hell broke loose with these heavy Democrats. I mean, you would think that, in fact, the mayor and all these heavyweight Democrats, high priest and chief priest of the party, the next day they would have done a full court rally across the region. We get but there was none.
No state strategy.
No, people woke up in the morning and went to work as usual. There was no sense of urgency, nothing. Bernie Sanders had just taken the state, had just won the primary here in Michigan. Nothing. We saw nothing after the day after.
Well, maybe this time around, they want to win. Maybe the mayor, Duggan, like myself, want to win.
I'm not sure if the mayor wants to win. I'm not sure. I don't know what's in the mayor's heart.
I don't either.
I can go by his action. I go by people's actions.
Yeah, the question becomes, what is a win in the mayor's mind? Is a Republican governor a win for the mayor?
That's scary.
Scary as that.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back with the roundtable. Chris White and Lavonia Perryman. Stay with us right after this break. 313-778-7600.